All right, guys, I think we're back. I think we're live, ready to go. I know I look a little ridiculous right now, but I'm trying to keep my neck really warm because I had the most stiff neck yesterday. It was just unbelievable. So let's dive into things here. KODK, I'm watching it right now. No trades on KODK so far pre-market. I've made quite a few trades pre-market, but not on this ticker. It's a bit of a unexpected one, the way this one moves. So I was totally comfortable with not trading this one. How German. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I definitely need it right now. Yesterday, you guys probably noticed on the live stream, I pretty much almost died. I was not feeling good. So today I'm feeling better, but I want to make sure that I'm not making things worse. Okay, so first of all, actually, let's just kind of get started here like normally. First of all, guys, good morning. Welcome back to the stream where we first review the watch list and then we trade the market open every day. Hoping everyone's feeling good and ready to go. Covering the hickeys, something like that. It's Tuesday after all. It's the what is it? It's September 1st. So first trading day of the month. That's exciting. It's 9:15 roughly a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got another 15 minutes before the market opens at 9:30, and then we'll wrap up trading like always around 11. Actually, we wrap up trading usually at 10:30. Then we review mid caps or large caps, and then we usually wrap up the stream around 11. But yeah, it's always a little different. Quick reminder for everyone that's new: this is for education and entertainment purposes only. My trades are quick and not meant to be followed. Always know yourself while you're entering and exiting a stock. And remember, this place, can't speak right now. This community is a place for us to help each other, guys. Please don't spam or you'll be kicked. Check out the video description below for some FAQs, and let's keep going here. Right now, KODK, you know, this is a big move. This is a former runner, 61 million float. You guys probably remember this one when they had the giant government contract, or what was that catalyst? No, they've actually forgot about this one. 730. This was really making a lot of headlines at one point. Can I not scroll back any further? Here we go. Or not. What was that? Basically, the Kodak company that you guys know, the camera company, they turned into a drug manufacturer company, or they're working on some sort of vaccine. Here we go, $765 million loan deal from the government to develop drugs. And then they had some investigations. They fell off a cliff, insider trading, yada, yada. Just a whole bunch of red flags on this one. It was all very, very confusing. And then we had a big bounce here today, which I kind of feel like is a bit more of a bottom bounce, because around $5.50, $6, we really had a lot of support come in, just because, you know, those are whole numbers. I always talk about $5.50 being one of my favorite reversal points, regardless what the ticker is. It could also be like $55. They tend to be really, really strong. And that's kind of what we saw here. So right now it's classified as a USA specialty business service company, and the catalyst out today, besides what I think is more just a bottom bounce, I think the news could have been anything, but apparently a hedge fund, DE Shaw, has a 5.2% passive stake, and they just came out with a disclosure about it. I don't really see that being any really interesting catalyst. I mean, if it was maybe like Bill Gates had a 5.2% stake in it, that'd be a little bit more interesting, but I don't know. I'm not blown away with KODK. I probably won't trade it, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say I won't trade something, but I will, you know, I'm going to be a little bit skeptical on KODK and kind of see what happens. I don't know. I found this one a little bit tricky to trade. So we had a nice little bull flag here. We had a breakout. We didn't really get a pullback at any one point. Then we had a nice flat top breakout here. This one could have been a good entry with big volume. This was probably the cleanest setup right here, around 6% move. Everything under that would have been a little bit too much risk for me. Now coming kind of back to that 9.2 area where we had that breakout. So, you know, kind of interesting zones for little dip buys, but overall, I don't know. I'm not super stoked about this one. You guys always ask me about Tesla. Honestly, the fact that they're doing an offering at this price isn't super surprising. I didn't really see it coming, but it totally makes sense. I don't think the stock's going to fall off a cliff, but I do, expect this one to pull back kind of for several weeks, honestly. I think this run-up has been a little bit exponential, and I just don't really see myself buying in these areas. Are those sad tissues or happy tissues? But yeah, we know what happens to small caps when there's an offering. They fall off a cliff. They go down like 40-50%. I obviously don't think that's going to happen with Tesla. Yeah, short term, it's really not a good thing for investors. All right, and let's keep going here. We had several trades pre-market. Let's just kind of review the ones we were trading. So PSTV, JILL, these were the only two tickers we actually traded this morning, a little over $200 so far pre-market. So nice little morning here. I wasn't really getting super aggressive or anything like that. I was kind of just taking it all one step at a time. I felt like I wasn't really trading at all, but I ended up looking a little bit more aggressive than I originally thought. Just really being patient, looking for base hits. JILL, I just got a few trades on this one. 17 million float, really nice. This was a recent runner, US apparel company, and they extended their forbearance, which basically means they have a lot of debt and they got a little bit more leeway on it, a little bit more kind of longevity kind of catalyst, looking for long-term growth, yada yada. So waiver of non-compliance. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much got like a bonus life on this one, JILL. So overall, it's kind of a good catalyst because it shows that maybe this company is going to try to survive a little bit longer. But sub dollars, I'm always a little bit cautious on. I had two nice little dip trades here. I'll tell you why I did this first one. We had a really nice 5-minute pullback here. I love this support zone around 9.4 or 0.94, and I said if we reach 0.94, I'm going to jump in on this one. I did 3,000 shares here, so a pretty decent position size, and then I sold on the little bump to the upside. I sold way too early, but still okay. Same situation here, smaller position size, sold on the bump to the upside. Again, sold way too early. But clean, simple base hits pre-market is all I'm looking for. I'm not trying to do any sort of blow away trade because those are the ones that end up not working, and it's hard to say which tickers are going to be really the runners. Another ticker I actually traded this morning, actually going back to JILL really quickly, long-term guys, this one, I wanted to mention this, a lot of dangerous gap down areas, a lot of these kind of spikes that don't work really well. I'm just not super ambitious with JILL. So again, I'm going to be really cautious here. We have big support around 0.65. So maybe if the price comes down to these areas, I'll be looking for, reversals at one point. Ooh, this thing's that was a big sell-off just now. I don't know, you guys, this is just one of those classic tickers that I feel like I'm always extra cautious on, and we'll see what happens. That's kind of wanted to add that to my thoughts. PSTV, this was another ticker that, pre-market, this was, or like around 7 a.m. this morning, this was kind of like the hot stock. Now 2 hours later, no one's really looking at PSTV anymore. I traded this one quite a bit, and this is actually where most of my pre-market profits are coming from. 4 million float, US biotech, FDA orphan drug designation. Basically means that it's kind of like fast track, but it means they have a drug that's needed for kind of a smaller niche of people, and they're going to get that drug out there a little bit quicker. So overall, it is a good catalyst with PSTV, and it has that 4 million float, which I really like. I think we might see some life dive back into PSTV. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one to, maybe find a little bit of support. Maybe it's going to be around 2.8, 2.7 or something like that. We definitely know we have huge support right around 2.5. We have the, the 9 EMA right here around 256. 277 is huge support as well. A lot of tops and bottoms in this area. So I'm going to be looking for this one to really kind of find some support here, and then ideally maybe even have a red to green. We'll see what happens. I mean, this was a lot of selling pressure so far. I wasn't really expecting something like this strong, 30% PSTV. So I'm just going to put here a little warning on my notebook, but 4 million float US biotech with the FDA orphan drug designation. I mean, it is pretty good setup. So this one has that explosibility behind it. I will probably be looking at PSTV out of the gates. we'll see what happens in the next 7 minutes here, but any entries probably, between 2.5 and 2.8 could be really, really nice setups on PSTV. So we'll see what happens. Right now, my second screen, I actually have JILL. The reason I have JILL on my second screen is because this one's a little bit tricky to trade in terms of the order book. So I always zoom out on the order book, but then it messes it up for other stocks. So right now I kind of have it set up for my secondary screen. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. JNCE, yeah, let's talk about this one as well. 30 million float, US biotech. They have a license agreement for immunotherapy. Apparently, they already got 85 million upfront payment from another company. So that seemed like really, really good news. I'll tell you this right out of the gates. When I saw JNCE pop up, I already didn't really want to trade it. A lot of these times, like late bloomers, I have a hard time trading. Sometimes they run really nicely and they have like wicked opens and stuff, but I feel like they fail a lot. And that kind of makes me a little bit iffy about trading them. So we're right around $8 now. We have this huge kind of big resistance between 9.50 and 10. You can kind of see that in here. We'll see what happens with this one. But, big sell-off already, 37%. Not really what we want to be seeing here on JNSE or JNCE. So I don't know if I'm going to be trading this one out of the gate. It's probably some crazy risk reward, but definitely some quick potential to make a quick buck, but also lose a quick buck. And to me, trading is more about risk management than anything else. What was that other ticker? Oh yeah, PRTH. This was actually the lead gapper on the day at first. So this is the problem with Make My Watch List at 7 a.m. So by the time, I publish the video and we're going to start the stream and it gets closer to 9:30, sometimes the two lead gappers at 7 a.m. are no longer the lead gappers at 9:30. So PRTH was one of the original lead gappers, 11 million float, US software and infrastructure company. They're selling one of their companies. It looked like they were getting a lot of money for it. Like, do I remember like 40 million? Let me quickly see here. So so they have a rent payment business that is being acquired and they're kind of rolling that off. Can't remember which article I was reading earlier. Must have been one of these. Anywho, PRTH, a lot of selling pressure here. I'm a little bit skeptical on where this thing's going to go. Already down 40%, not really what we want to be seeing here on a ticker like this. So let's see what happens with PRTH. But at the moment, I kind of think that this one might already be done with before it even started. So I'll just kind of put this a little lurk down here. Actually, in my Webull account, I think I have a limit order for this one at 223. I actually need to check that. Hopefully that does not crash the stream. Let me see here. This is going to be kind of a hectic. So we got another 3 minutes here till the market opens. Be right back. I'm going to get a few things ready. Well, this is going to be an interesting little setup here. I hope this is not too much. I'm going to unlock trading for Webull, and then the heck was that? All right, well, we've got another pretty much minute here till the market opens. Again, like I said, PRTH, I'm actually long PRTH at 223, really, really small, like $500 on Webull, just testing out the platform. Not really too interesting for you guys to check this out, but I'll be sure to talk about it in the recap video or maybe a little bit later from here. All right. All right, guys, another 20 seconds. Good luck, everyone. Should be an interesting little open here. We have a scanner. Check out the FAQs in the video description below for the scanner. KODK, here we go. Let's see how this one opens up. Pulling back a little bit. PSTV also worth watching. JILL hit that 0.8 spot. Remember, PSTV with that 4 million float, this one really has that spikeability behind it. What I was looking for PSTV was actually a bit of a pullback. So we'll see how this one opens up here. Right now it is pulling a little bit higher. We have huge support around 2.8. JILL having an explosive move right now. Could possibly see myself buying this one on a quick pullback. JILL with that 17 million float. JILL, I think, is halted right now at 31.17, unless my TOS is frozen, but I think JILL is halted. Watching PSTV. Ooh, JILL, man, there's a good chance that this thing's gonna fly at the open. Let's keep watching this one. It's gonna be good fun to watch. So the open on PSTV was around 291. Around a 6% pullback would be at like 275 roughly. Then a 10% pullback would be in the low 60s. Not sure if we're going to get to that area. Yeah, Corey, me neither. I was really not expecting that move. Right now, first bounce, PSTV. This is going to be the 6% pullback zone on PSTV. It's going to be most likely we're going to see some sort of bounce in this area. If we don't, I'm going to be looking for something in the mid 60s. Huge flush on GME from Mark. Anyone new to the stream right now is probably wondering why this guy's wearing a scarf. This is a little ridiculous. PSTV still kind of interesting here. I was kind of this bounce looks very weak, which would make me not want to jump on this bounce. So I'm gonna kind of let this thing ride a little bit longer and see what happens. KODK definitely the lead gapper on the day, but also one of the bigger market caps. JNCE, GoGo. JILL is going to open up at 36. Keeping a close eye on that one. Maybe PSTV is going to try to break that EMA right now. Let's see what happens. I haven't traded this one since quite early pre-market, so I know that this one sells off quite a lot. I know there's a lot of sellers on this one. There goes some more sellers right now. This is a potential candle right here for a flush. Just being a little bit careful. JIL is going to open up really soon here. Pretty much in like 30 seconds. Maybe a little bit less. PSTV surprisingly holds this area. I was actually expecting a bigger candle, a little sell-off. JILL opening up here. That $1 resistance, can we break it? Woo, that spread on JILL is absolutely beast. I'm watching it right now on my second screen. I imagine a lot of back holders on this ticker. 111 is the pre-market highs. PRTH, guys, might actually look like it might break higher past 2.3. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I do have an order at 223, or I am actually long at 223. Very, very small position size on Weeple, just trying out the platform from pre-market. Finally got that execution right before the market opened. Die Deutschen sind hier. All right, PSTV guys, 275. Just watching this one. Order at 65. Looks like it might sell off one more time here at 68. Still watching JILL. See if I can get one more fill on this one. Just got another fill here at 15,265. Looking for a little bit of a red to green move on this one. I'm not sure if we'll get a red to green anymore, but I do think we might go around 75, at least for a little retest. Sold a little bit of my position here at 68. Looking for a break over 69 though. A little bit sloppy trading from me. I forgot to turn off good till cancel extended hours again, leaving me with a error message. So I quickly got out of this trade when that error message popped up, because sometimes I'm just not looking for TOS to be freezing right now on these very, very quick moves. I probably could have squeezed out another 1 or 2 cents on this one. Sometimes I just like getting out of these trades fairly quickly. So it looks like my Webull trade is not really working out too much. Had that entry at 223, now it's at 204. Very small position size, really just kind of playing with Webull a little bit. This was a trade from pre-market. So I'll probably be closing out this trade in a little bit here. Position, looks like we're down 40 bucks on this one. PSTV, possibly selling off here again. I don't really see this one going down too much more. JILL looks really, really good here at $1. I'm keeping my eye on this one. Might enter JILL right around $1. Yeah, Corey. I totally agree. JIL looks quite interesting. If PSTV goes into the 50s, I'd probably consider buying it for a quick trade. JIL just had that perfect dip. Should have had a limit order waiting there for it. Already up 10%. Really, really nice move on this one. Congrats to anyone long with JILL. I think that was a pretty sweet opportunity. I probably would have took profits already though. It would have been a phenomenal entry on JILL right around 0.95, 0.96, but I missed it. Not re-entering yet, or not, I don't know, we'll see what we want to do with this one. I'm a little bit iffy on JILL, so I usually don't give a ticker like this multiple chances, and I don't like to buy the same entry again on the second retest, because to me that's a whole different move that I'm not really looking for. So yeah, here JIL not breaking VWAP a little bit, kind of sketchy. Wow, PSTV really, really lost a lot of momentum, pretty much all of it in that last candle. Checking Webull again just for some giggles here. Looks like PRTH is back at it. PRTH. Again, I'm kind of holding this one at 223, $500 position size, very, very small, just testing out Webull on my second screen. Nothing really too crazy. Looks like I'm up 10 bucks on this one. Would probably sell around VWAP. I'm not trying to have a blowaway trade on this one. I don't really trust PRTH. That was a huge sell-off we had on this one. So let's see if we can get a crack here past 2.4. And then I'll probably look to take some profits around 2.5. Oh, where's my screen? Here it is. It's a little tricky trading with Webull. I seem to trip over myself quite a lot, but if you just don't use a lot of the features and you like place orders, like classic orders, it's actually okay again. So PRTH, I'm looking to sell at 247. I don't know if we're going to go into that area. That's a lot of selling here, but you know, it did pop up again, 945. I could see this trying to test VWAP. I could see at least a retest of VWAP. We've had retest before, so small position size that, you know, I'm just kind of letting this one kind of play a little bit longer. It's not something I have to stress out about too much right now, so that's really, really nice. KODK, wow, huge sell-off to $8. I don't know if you guys were watching that. I just noticed it myself. Ridiculous. This should be a big bounce territory here. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little 3% 9 EMA retest. Crazy, crazy stuff. KODK, you know, this one just screamed about something that I didn't want to trade. That's why this is the one ticker really I didn't trade pre-market. This is just the one I did not feel comfortable with. JNCE looks actually kind of interesting. Didn't sell off as much as I was expecting. This is probably going to break the $8 here. Looks like we're putting in a little bit of support. Looks like $7 is really, really key, and then $8. So, you know, are we going to break above 8? If we do, this thing could be a possible little run here. Kind of gaining some momentum. I like this little breakout here with a pullback. This would have actually been a pretty sweet entry, around 8% so far. Yeah, good call, Michael. This definitely looks like a break, possible break here, VWAP. Here we go. This is looking pretty good. JIL just had a nice little bounce. Yeah, back to $1. I mean, that one's up 160% today. Man, the volume we have in the small cap space is still so small. JNCE, a little reminder, 30 million float US biotech license agreement for immunotherapy, or they already got an $85 million upfront payment for it. So let's see here if this one can keep going. 265 million market cap. Just that kind of strong pullback they had made me a little bit uneasy. I think this is going to break VWAP here pretty soon. Let's see if we can get a quick entry here on JNCE. Had an order, possibly too low. Looks like VWAP's about to crack here. Really sweet. Congrats to anyone long on this one. This was looking pretty solid. I saw this a little bit too late. I would have wanted an entry kind of in the 760s, but let's see what happens. I'm a little bit nervous with this previous failed breakout. Sometimes you see a ticker like this and they have really wicked flushes. That's kind of the main thing I'm worried about with JNCE. 948 though, it didn't dip that much from pre-market or from the open. That's a good sign. Really means there's buyers on this one, kind of held its highs a little bit. So it looks like it tested the bottom. It found a bottom around 716, and now it's going to see where's the high here. How high can we go? Can we break past 8.5? That's really the big question. Nice volume on this breakout. Nice, Steven. I don't think that's a bad setup. It's a lot of volume on that breakout. Looks pretty good. The big thing I'm worried about with this one is that flush potential. 783, 782. It's so hard to say. This could either be a phenomenal entry right here, or it's just a continuation of a bigger red can. I think, oh man, I don't know. We had a nice pullback. We had a 5-minute breakout. We're having a 1-minute pullback. Selling volume is fading. That's a good sign. Entered the 60s, 61. Ooh, my computer is really slow right now. Let's see if we can get a small position size here at 766 and look for a possible reversal. I think I just missed that. I mean, I think I need to close Webull. My computer is not responding to me right now. It's really, really laggy. All right, I'm going to close Webull for now. It's kind of unfortunate. I would have liked to keep it open, but I'm not seeing my orders being moved around. Yeah, JNC with that 50-cent drop, it's pretty ferocious. What I was worried about is that we didn't have this high. This shoulder didn't break that shoulder. I say this quite often, that every time the left shoulder's higher, it's typically a lot of bearish indicators. So I tend to avoid those. But this would have been a perfect little bounce right here off of like 55 and then here back to VWAP. That would have been a 5% trade, but I missed it. I don't know if I'm going to trade this one. I think I'd be freaking out a little bit too. Nice, Eugene. 2 trades on AAL. Oh my God, that actually reminded me. We'll have to talk about this later. RXT, guys. Hoo-wee. I don't know if you watched the recap video from yesterday, but we were talking about if RXT does X, then I'm going to do Y. And that's happened perfectly. It was beautiful. Had a nice pullback on RXT. We entered near big support, and then it ripped up pre-market. I'm not totally sure what it's up to right now, but that was it could be the start of a good swing trade. JILL looks done. JILL is definitely a slippery fish that just constantly wobbles out of your hands. I don't know how I feel about it. I would have loved the trade around 0.96, and then I would have took my profits really quick. And I don't know. After that, it's tough. $9.53. Getting close to that magical 10 o'clock possible reversal zone. JNCE looks like it had a bit of a triple top here, but also a bit of a triple bottom. So kind of an interesting, interesting case. I would really not want to see JNCE dabble around these low 7 areas if I was long JNCE. I guess that's a pretty obvious thing to think about, but I wouldn't want to see a quadruple bottom, let's just say. Yeah, sell off is fast as well. So I'd be too scared for there to be a break of support and then a break of 7. So I'd probably, I don't know. I think JNCE has that potential to break back above VWAP. We might see a big move here, because if we can break this like kind of 8.3, 8.4, 8.5 zone, it could be nice. Just, it's not a ticker that breeds confidence, at least in what I'm seeing in it. Michael says just take a small position. I have no problem with taking a small position if I just, feel a little bit more comfortable about it. VXRT. Wow, we haven't looked at VXRT in a while. I wonder what that one's up to. VXRT might be a great setup for a possible swing. And the reason I say that is it kind of like Kodak, had a big run, selling off, big support here around $5, $5.50. This could be a great reversal zone. It could, though, dip further to this 180-day moving average. I don't really feel like it because it hasn't really, 180-day moving average on VXRT isn't that significant as some of these just healthy pullback zones and retest areas. So I'd probably consider VXRT, possible swing trade, like I said, around 550. Really, really a lot of sell-off kind of going here for multiple days. JNCE, guys, back above 8. I'll put an order here at 5.3. 4.7 was the last low. And this could definitely be a bit of a turnaround story. Nice peak, could be some really good dip buy opportunities. Not sure how much lower it's going to go. I'm going to put another alert here. Actually, I already got 2 alerts up. Okay. Let's go back to JNCE, back at 7.8. Ooh, this one's all over the place, huh? Okay, so had an attempted breakout here, quickly pulled back. Tricky stuff. PSV continued to be a good runner. Oh, cool. Monster. Thanks for that update. Michael, what's going on over there? Is this the beginning of that final move we were looking for? Or is this just 3 failed breakouts? Because $9.58 here. JNCE getting some momentum. It's definitely a little stifler of a tickler. $30 million float. Maybe that's why it's moving so weird. I don't know. I think there's at least 10% upside on JNCE. The downside's really, really hard to kind of predict. Probably around 50 cents a share. Probably looking like 6% or so. It's not the best risk reward, but it is having a bit of a rounded bottom. So I do find a lot of support here, actually. JILL falling off a cliff right now, guys. Just, whew, that was a big sell-off on JILL. $8.10. Yeah, JNC, guys. This one's tough. I would have gotten faked out on JNCE probably like a dozen times already. Buying the breakouts on JNCE, I think it's just really, really tough. If you're walking away green on JNCE, big congratulations here. Nice, Mark. Yeah, I think that's the way to trade it. Kind of try to, get a decent low price. But it has so many fake outs that it's just best to average in lower and then hope for the breakout, and then buying into some fake out and constantly having to close. So I think you did, Mark, I think you did the right approach on this one. I'm going to definitely have a little bit of FOMO when it breaks out, if it breaks out, but I don't think I can justify getting in it. Very decent volume here picking up, though. I think I'm just going to take out the bad popcorn and just kind of enjoy this one a little bit, just to see what I can learn. So far, I think Mark's strategy is the right one. Nice, Houston. Boom! JNCE having that breakout. Let's see if it can continue. 820. Let's see where it can go. I would really like to see JNCE break this 840 zone. And then if I was long JNCE, I would probably be taking profits on the break of 8.5 into like 8.6, 8.7. That's just like what I would do if I was long around, somewhere under $8. Love. Yeah. Boom. Really sweet watching this one. 849. 850, 857, boom, we just had that break of 850. That was nice. Probably a lot of people taking profits in that area, but really, really sweet. Congrats to everyone long. Congrats, Mark. Really good. Great trade, guys. I missed out on that one. Michael's doing his first short on JILL. You know what? Actually, something I forgot to mention is JNCE is actually easy to borrow. Might be something worth considering for this one to actually be much more stronger late day, doing big short squeezes. Time to blow up this account, Michael says. Nice, Mark. Nice. Just watch out shorting a sub-dollar stock. I mean, these things can easily spike. And this thing already got halted on the way up once before. That's really what would worry me probably the most. PRTH, it's kind of a weird situation. I have my sell order here at 247. Volume fading a little bit. That's not really what I like to see. I'm not sure if I should just close out this one on Webull or not. I really don't like trading different applications at the same time. Kind of gets my eye off the ball. Who knows if I would have been a little bit more focused today. I'm going to have an alert here at PRTH, see if it breaks 217 or 216. I'll put another alert, see if it starts breaking higher. Kind of try to get it out of my mind a little bit for now. JNCE is hitting hard to borrow on your end from Mark. Interesting. I didn't. Okay, so there's different. Looks like they're giving different, maybe ratings or something like that. JNCE just had that flush. That's the flush I was worried about the whole entire time. This one wasn't even that bad. I was expecting something maybe a little bit more ferocious. GNW past VWAP. Was that the ticker we were trading yesterday? GNW, I think so. Okay, yeah, so it was like another red candle I guess we were waiting for. Ugh. La la la. Not what you want to be seeing. Oh. A stiff neck, guys, is the absolute worst. Zoom just had their earnings actually come out. That's probably why. All right, another 24 minutes here till 10:30. Let's see if we can keep sneaking some trades out of the market. Just gonna kind of zoom through some of the tickers we were watching today. KODK, obviously kind of just big old sell-offs here, falling off a cliff. You know, I've been so nervous about this one. I'm happy I didn't really end up trading it. We'll see how low this one can go, but nothing really would surprise me on this one. We would have a huge double bottom opportunity here, roughly at 7.3, 7.4. VXRT, looks like I actually just bought some VXRT. VXRT, let's go to this one. This one had no catalyst. Just entered VXRT. You guys remember me putting that limit order down just not too long ago. Possible second fill here at 34. Small position size so far. A lot of red candles on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 5-minute red candles in a row. I wanted to get a little bit more aggressive with size here. Let's see if we can actually do that at one point. VXRT is a big candidate for a possible swing trade, honestly. And I might even think about swing trading this one in my Roth account because I don't like swing trading in my day trading account. It's just very confusing. It throws me off entirely. See, buying power effect will obviously go down, resulting buying power will go up. Current account, space, did I miss my ADT entry? Because that was just about perfect. All right, I'm going to go back to my unlimited account. Sorry for that, a little bit of confusion there. It's definitely a bit of a slow mover. Low at 28. I bet you this one can crack 28. All right, just got about 3,000 shares now at 26. Average price at 31. Maybe we'll get that fill. Let's go back to the challenge account. All right, we just had a little bit of a fill here. So we got the challenge, which is going to be an overnight most likely, and then we got the unlimited account, which I entered a little bit too soon, I got to say, on this one. This was a little bit too soon of an entry. So I'm going to be day trading this one and possibly swing trading this one as well. Let's see what happens. Yeah, no catalyst, price target removed. Yep. JILL, big support at 0.8, and it's approaching 0.8 on JILL. Really interesting, kind of watching that one. Ooh, JILL falling off the cliff again. Broke that key 0.8 area. Sketchy, sketchy stuff. The XRT at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red candles in a row. 8 5-minute red candles in a row. Just very, very strong sell-off there. We're here near big multi-month support and resistance. Looking for a quick day trade on this one, and then also possibly a swing trade. I'll think about holding it overnight. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold it overnight, but I definitely will think about based on afternoon price action. So VXRT will be something I'll talk about in the recap video. Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more. We'll definitely talk about it in the recap video, and then after like 10:30, just in case I keep, readjusting stuff. It really depends if I hold on to this or not right now, which is still undecided. I'm looking for a quick pullback here, and then ideally a break over the 9 EMA. If we don't get that break over the 9 EMA, I'm gonna have to close for a small loss. That's why I'm saying, I can't, well, there's no point in talking about it now. It really depends what happens kind of the next 10 minutes here, roughly, maybe even 5 minutes. So we'll see what happens. It's still selling off quite a bit here. More than I would have wanted to, so I might have to actually cut my day trade, and then I'll think about my swing trade. Yeah, big sell-off there. So I'm going to cut my day trade, and then most likely I'll think about the swing trade a little bit longer, analyze the company a little bit more. But yeah, this one looks like it's not going to be working out for my day trade, which is a little bit unfortunate. Not really sure where this giant volume's coming from. Was not expecting that. So I cut my losses here down about 32 cents a share. Not really the worst. Totally manageable. So one of my, that was a decent position size. That's really what it was. So yeah, kind of sold here at 505, possibly the all-time low spot on this one. Probably should have went with my swing trade only. And I'll talk about the swing trade obviously in a little bit. With the day trade, I thought we were going to see a possible quicker reverse to the VWAP zone. So this could actually be a secondary entry, but I don't like doing a second entry after a loss because psychologically that can mess with you a little bit. So we'll see what we want to do here. But so far, I don't know. I think that was just unnecessarily selling off, but you got to manage your risk, and I'm not trying to hold something for no reason too long. So we'll see. I have, with my swing position, if it breaks 5, great. I can average down a little bit more. I did only a partial fill. If it doesn't break 5, great. You know, we have a decent size, so hopefully we can ride this one up depending on how far it goes. But yeah, for now, VXRT, kind of unfortunate. I took a bigger loss on this one. Probably put me back a little bit, but you know, pretty decent earnings today so far. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, very, very wicked flush here. This last little pop, huh? 3-4%. That's a slow mover, which made me fairly confident. Whoa, go back in the race. Look at this one, big volume coming out here. Did I miss something? We didn't talk about GoGo too much. 53 million float US telecom services company. They sold their aviation business to Intelsat for 400 million. This is the one with the 400 million. So kind of good news there in terms of, you know, downsizing a little bit, increasing their cash flows, focusing on their core business, all really, really good stuff. This one has been a little bit of a messy one out of the gates, but it looks like they found some big support around 5.85. Not a 10% move, not too bad. I don't know, Michael. Definitely contact your broker. That seems a bit unusual. What's up, Constantine? Oh man, I don't know about going in leverage on Tesla right now, especially after the offering, man. That's very ambitious. Hello, hello. That's where you've been hiding. Yeah, moves are a little bit slow now. Our lead gappers are definitely pulling back a little bit more. I would probably give it a little bit longer of trading here. 6.4 is a big resistance zone on GoGo. Even the percentage returns on it aren't exactly impressive. Ticker like home looks really good. I couldn't really trade something like this at this point of the day. Too much risk reward, maybe out of the gates trading this one, but you know, perfect trade on this one, barely makes you any profit, you know, 4% right here. So you would have to really use big size on something like HOME. I don't know. GoGo looks like potentially one of the more interesting ones right now. JILL we got, NNOX. Probably not something I'd be trading anymore. Amtx with that 10 million dollar volume, 48 million market cap, 20 million shares outstanding. Big bottom bounce, big resistance at 2.5. Receives FDA National Drug Code and sanitizing claim. They have a shelf registration as well, just something to keep in mind. Potential sell of $100 million. Yeah, I'd be not super convinced about this one. I like AMTX, but I missed the move to the upside. It had really low volume earlier. Probably one of its nicest moves was this pullback or this pullback. Yeah, I don't know. JILL selling off here below 0.7. Wow, PRTH. I gotta say, this one somehow has constantly held this area really well. Ooh, hold on. Let me quickly check Webull. I think we're out of this trade. Let me quickly check here. Where's my Webull? There it is. Ooh, trading with two platforms open at the same time is just a little bit overly hectic. All right, so yeah, it looks like we are out of our PRTH position on Webull, which is really, really nice. I set that limit order up at 247. Price went to 248, so I was luckily able to get out of this position. Huge amount of sell volume that last little pop. PRTH, man, calm down. Yeah, I feel you. I was actually nervous as well when I saw that spike. I was like, oh, I don't know if I got out on that one. You got to take profits, man. You just got to take profits. Just like we saw with JNCE when it had that little pop over 850, just for a second, there was like a tiny window of taking profits on JNCE, and similar situation. Right here, right at 8.5, I think we hit like 8.6 or so, and then it dumped 20%. Yikes. It's really, really sticky sometimes. I was a little bit annoyed. I think it was that yesterday on Monday where I also wasn't able to take profits. I don't know if it was a TOS effect or not. Price went over my limit order. I didn't get executed, and then it was shot down. I closed for a small loss, and I was like, well, that was weird. Nice, good luck, Michael. Yeah, VXRT, you know, I was pretty sure this one was going to bounce. I ended up closing for a loss here at the perfect bottom. I was almost like 100% positive I was selling at the perfect bottom, but you know, those times where you're 100% positive about something, like that's dangerous, right? So it's best to just get out because my thesis was already wrong. So that was the original problem. Holding this one any longer would have not solved anything. Yeah, you know, I could have walked away profitable on this one, or actually, you know, at least close to break even. So it is always kind of painful selling at a low, but you got to manage your risk. It looks like I'm pretty much done trading for the day. We were up about, you know, close to $300 today. And then that last trade, actually we were at $300 profit today. And that last trade, I gave it back $160. So kind of annoying, but PSTV, you know, this was the big winner for me today. And then JILL, we had some, I think two nice trades on JILL. But yeah, that's a little bit painful. I used bigger size with VXRT, and then we got flushed out in one really aggressive move. So that was a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. So you know, at the end of the day, I'm still up 166 bucks from what I was this morning. So that's nice. Would have been nice to wrap up the day, you know, up 300, but you know, giving back half my profits is always when I say I kind of actually have to stop trading. So I have 3 rules, 3 red trades in a row. I actually don't follow that rule that much. 10% down on my max position size. So that's like being down around $250 on the day I try to stop trading. which probably now is about like more like $300-400 on the day. And then giving back half of my profits. That's another indicator. So because now at this point, I gave back half my profits, and I probably am just going to get a little bit irritated on any sort of loss. And a win won't even feel that good because I feel like I'm going to be trying to get myself out of the hole. And a loss is just going to be really mentally devastating. So I think at this point, I'm going to kind of wrap up and kind of call it a day with my day trading. And then we'll talk about some swing trades here. Pump and dunk stock twit scam. Honestly, most of the stocks where we're trading are all very, very shady. So you just got to always have to remember that. That's true, Ori. I'm still watching JIL on my other screen. Looks like we're at 0.67 now. This thing's sold off quite a bit. A lot of like little pops though. A lot of tiny little potential bounce trades. So we got RXT. We're up 250 on RXT today. This was actually the trade we were talking about yesterday in the recap video. This one had earnings call. Apparently it was really good. A bunch of banks apparently already knew about it as well. This thing, all of these banks upgraded the stock. It was a ridiculous amount, from Berkeley's to Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, Citi, Deutsche Bank. All these stocks or these analyst firms increased their price target. And this was, on Friday before earnings. So I was a little bit kind of amused about that because that's not something you typically see. On the daily chart, we had a big breakout here at the 20. So I was like, if we get a dip in the evening, then I'm going to be jumping on this one. And actually, that's exactly what happened in the evening. We got a huge dip, and actually right around after the earnings call, we had a tremendous dip right here, extended hours, and that's when I started picking up some RXT. I had these limit orders waiting for this trade, so I wasn't actually sitting there executing it myself, but that was kind of the RXT setup. SPCE, I'm still holding this one. Nothing new so far, just kind of, having issues breaking over 18. I really want to see this go over 18 soon. A little bit nervous there. And then obviously VXRT, which we just entered right now. Big support here. Looking to hold this one not too long, few days. We'll see what happens. I'm down 12 bucks on it right now. Let's see what we can get out of VXRT. I do think that this one could be an okay swing, or at least selling in the afternoon. We'll see what happens. Smaller position size. Thanks, Michael. That's funny. PSV, yeah, that ticker was a hot one on Monday. No, JILL looks kind of interesting there. I would maybe consider trading this one. KODK really kind of came back from the grave, huh? Was just looking at that JILL dip, but it literally decided to run away right as I was saying that. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy in these areas, although it does look kind of interesting. Calm down. What'd you get? Did you get JILL or what? Let's see if we can go to the mood. Let's stuck to its promise. Oh, that's good fun. Well, definitely hit a nice little base. I would definitely be thinking about where you want to be taking profits. That's the main thought that would be going through my head right now. $5. That's some ambitious numbers here. KODK though just had a big retest of a former support zone, which is new resistance here at $8. So I'd be very careful about entering KODK long in this area. This is a very, very risky, bad risk reward area to be entering a trade, I think personally. As painful it is for me to even look at VXRT right now, because I just gave back so many profits on this one. Pretty much, yeah, literally 50% of my profits just disappeared. I got to think about, is this a good swing trade? And I love these kind of setups near big time support. So I'm gonna give this one a little bit for sure. And what I would be looking for is possibly a little bit move lower. So if we go into the 4.5s, 4 point somethings, I'll probably consider averaging down a little bit, get a full position size on my swing portfolio. I love that this thing kind of sold off a lot already. Doesn't have any specifically negative news that recently came out. And I think any sort of decent news on this one could actually pump the stock easily back above $6. So that's really what I'm going to be looking for. And I feel like this one has fairly decent risk reward at this point. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, even their earnings were up, so pretty good. I think this thing's just selling off because it ran up so much. Anytime something runs up so much, it typically tends to sell off a lot. And recently, it just sold off a lot. So, looking to have at least a bounce at one point. Yeah, it could easily pop back to the upside on any sort of move. So VXRT, I really don't mind holding in my swing account. In terms of the day trade, that was just a silly mistake. I should have been more cautious on averaging down on it a little bit closer to $5. So my risk basis would have been lower. And then with a lower risk basis, I would have not cared at all to hold past 5 or around $5. So that would have actually ended up, allowing me to get out for a scratch. So that was a little bit of a mistake on my end, but oh well, it happens. Nice pharma, really sweet stuff. Don't forget to reduce your position size at one point, so you're not going in with big position size. No more than half position size for a trade is what I would say, and that's still way too much, in all honesty. Wow, really sweet move with JILL. Really sweet break of 7. Runs up quite strong. Possible retest on the 9 EMA. That was a 17% bounce. That was huge. We usually don't get bounces that strong. Looks like I'm back on break even with VXRT. That's really good to see that. This one looks actually just the same as the Chinese car company that we traded. This was like the exact same setup. I forgot the ticker, XE something V. I don't know. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, option is a whole different pickle as well. XPEV, yeah, thanks, Eat Chilies. XP, I was like, X, there's definitely a P in there, or an E, and there's definitely a V in there. JIL having a kind of a stronger pullback. Put a limit order here at 483 in case we dip down again, start accumulating. Oh yeah, man, VXRT, man, I dropped the ball so hard on my day trade on that one. That was really upsetting. Oh well, it is what it is. Look at GoGo. This one back at 675. This is really impressive. We almost had a perfect pullback here to VWAP, and then just another explosive move. Really sweet. Congrats to anyone that got on this one. I was looking at it, but I totally did not follow up through it. I remember we were kind of pulling back in this area, and then I just stopped looking at it. I should have looked at it a few more times. Really kind of nice stuff we're seeing here on this one. Yeah, definitely dropped the ball on maybe considering trading this one, but I was pretty much done with trading right around this area. ZM. Oh no. Let me actually look at this ticker. I have not been looking at this one at all. For auto, we could look at auto in a second. What was your play, Steven, with Zoom? What was the play there? Man, that was a huge spike this one had. So they beat earnings estimates. There's no reason they should be up this much. Caught the dip. Great dip on TSN. Thanks, Steven. You're trading with pretty big size then. You're up 700 and down 3K. Yeah. These large caps are always a little bit trickier to trade, I find, as well. This thing had a wicked red to green move. I mean, literally like a perfect red to green move, actually. Nice. Now only down 2K. Okay, I guess that's not too bad. Whew. All right, let me check out auto. A lot of nice big volume here. Big run up they've had. Up 10 times from the low. That's impressive. Ever since their earnings came out. Yeah, it looks like they hit some sort of really big resistance right around $6 here. Big spike in volume on the sell. Kind of not really something you want to see. This looks like a serious blow off top. I don't know anything about this company, to be honest, but technicals, you know, $6 seems to be a really tough spot for this one to break through. Maybe it will break through it and get to about 7, but what I would be worried about with this one is, you know, there's a little bit of like 11% upside potential maybe. And I could see it easily coming back to $4, which is like 20+% downside. The reason I was thinking $4 is because this is kind of where the initial gap down kind of stabilized. So we'll see where it goes. But right now it's still trending upwards. If I was going to buy auto for a swing trade, I'd be probably looking at somewhere between 4 and 4.5 to maybe accumulate and then look for a continuation. But I would have a hard time going along on this ticker right at this point. Has some really nice dips near support. Look at this little breakout here at 5, pulled back to 5 perfectly. Had a really good bounce off this level, about 8%. You could also see here on this bounce back to the upside at 5.4, it nowhere near came back to this kind of higher 5.6, 5.5 area so far. Very low volume here. Just a little bit of, you know, overextended, maybe needs to take a dip, maybe needs to have a nice little pullback. Could easily maybe make it to $7, but right now it looks like it's going to retest some of the lower prices first before it has a continuation. Amtx. All right, Michael, man, take care. Always a good time. JILL selling off a little bit. Zoom with that nice little healthy pullback. Let's see how far this one could go back up. 460 is going to be big resistance, former resistance. Then it was support. Now it possibly can be new resistance. So that might be a little bit of a red flag here on this one. 460. Yeah, it's definitely ZM is intense to watch at this point. You don't eat, like, it could also have an afternoon run as well, but all right. But who knows what it's going to do intraday between then and now. I'm not the biggest fan of trading small caps. If I do trade small caps, it's going to be something like VXRT, which was a former runner. So I have my former runner list that I go through quite often. And when I notice that a former runner is near huge support, sell volume has been dying off. And there is that potential for literally any sort of catalyst to come out. It could literally be like the owner bought one share. It doesn't even matter. Oftentimes, they'll have nice bounces. And I really like doing that with small caps. For swing trades. And the reason is because, you know, the swing trades, they sometimes really dump so hard that I don't feel comfortable swing trading them near the highs. And I always wait for at least somewhat of a bottom to be kind of cemented in there. Otherwise, I don't feel super comfortable with the swing trading small caps, but that's how I do it. It's probably not the best way. I'm sure there's many other scanners out there for small caps, but that's what I've been doing for several years, and it works really, really well. It's just a lot. It's a big waiting game. Sometimes you go like a week or two or more without trading, so it's clearly not the most efficient. But I also probably don't check my former gappers list as much as I should. I'm also really conservative with my limit order, so I miss a lot of good reversals. PPCB monster in the making from the bottom plus institutional investor. PPCB. Well, long term, these guys are not fun. They're on OTC, constantly diluting the stock. I mean, this is nothing that I would be trading. I wouldn't even probably think about swing trading this one. I mean, it could easily go up 200%. You just don't know. I don't know. Not really something I would be looking at. Kirk. I just have a list right here. I just constantly add tickers to my former gappers, and then I go through the former gappers once or twice a week. Put limit orders sometimes on that list. Yeah, Steven, I totally agree. Yeah, calm down. Good point. And if it goes up 200%, there's a giant chance that you won't be able to sell it. KIRK, Kirkland's. This was one of those tickers that gets called out actually quite often in the chat room. I feel like we're constantly looking at this at one point. I haven't really ever, it looks like I outlined this ticker too much. So big support here kind of between this kind of 8.5 and $10 zone. Seems to be kind of a trending zone. You can see we had a breakout, a pullback. We also had a retest and two retests actually. Pull back to here and then retest the $10. Really interesting zone. Looks like $6 is something that's worth maybe noting here at roughly around $6. Sell volume and buy volume getting a little bit lighter here on the second day. I don't know. I could probably see it going back to 10 and then maybe having a retest at 8.5. Yeah, I'd probably see if I can trade this up to $10 and then kind of go from there. I'm not sure why it's up. I would have to check this a little bit more. Probably doesn't even need any catalyst. Current date, second quarter earnings. They had earnings. When was that? Dates. They dated the earnings. Conference call September 3rd. Oh, so they're actually coming out with earnings really soon, Kirk. I would be out of this one before earnings no matter what. Even if their earnings were phenomenal, this thing is so overextended from the lows that I would be very cautious with this one. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's my thought. What platform am I using? TD Ameritrade, ThinkorSwim platform. Happy to help, Varma. Appreciate it. So, Steven, what's the plan? What's the plan with Zoom? You make me all nervous over here. Oh, it's not what I wanted to see. Oy. Did you take some size off of it, or what's the latest schnitzel? JILL looks like it's about to have a flat top breakout here, 0.75. Oh. Yeah, it definitely does have a lot of downside potential, especially on the crack of 440, which might happen. What I would be looking for Zoom would be maybe an afternoon kind of power hour move before. Yeah, could find some support. And then have a retest of 470, 480, or at least get close to it. It's so hard to say. CRM, Salesforce. Yeah, it was 320 yesterday. I don't think it's gonna fall down there right after the earnings. But I know your point. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe just put a stop in there and just close your eyes and let Jesus take the wheel. Maybe Jesus. I don't know, man. Ooh. It gets an even watching this. What's the company say? LEU? It doesn't ring a bell at the moment. CRWD. Oh man, keep us posted, Steven, what you do with that. CrowdStrike Holdings. CrowdStrike. Oh man, look at that freaking breakout at 118, huh? Yeah. I don't know. Again, this kind of reminds me of Zoom a little bit. They had a huge run up since the big sell off in March. I don't know anything really about this company. Yeah, I hope September is good. So they're clearly up because they beat earnings, or they had really good earnings. I mean, that's a really good sign. I mean, this could easily run to 150. When AMD had that big breakout, it didn't even decide to pull back. It just constantly kept on going. I have a really hard time with buying tickers like this, to be honest. Like, it's hard for me to say. Like, what I would want to do on something like Crowd is really wait for a healthy pullback, something the 9 EMA, buy towards that and look for a continuation. Buying in the 138s, I don't know if I can get myself to do it. But I've missed so many moves because I oftentimes don't get aggressive on that move. AMD just had a really nice pullback breakout move. So AMD, we had that big breakout at 60. I missed this pullback here, and I was waiting for a bigger retest on the 9 EMA. We never got it. So I missed this whole entire run up here. So it's always like one of those things, like, how confident or are you on that stock? Like, I don't know anything about the stock, so I can't really comment on it. But if you feel really confident, or if it's a hot ticker like AMD, sometimes it's best just to jump on it. I don't know, it's tough to say. This was a really nice move right here with AMD. Look at this little perfect VWAP breakout, beautiful pullback. But just, oh man, if this was a small cap, this would be like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% move. This is like a 0.4% move on AMD, tiny. Their revenue went up 4 times compared to previous year. I mean, yeah, that's big. That's huge. So yeah, maybe it's ripe to jump on it. Amtx, man, this thing was quite explosive today. I also really wasn't trading this one. Total missed opportunity on my end. Really, really nice kind of pullbacks in this area. Great stuff here. I was looking for Marvin Q. I was looking for Intel to hit 45, but never really did it. But good luck on that, man. Yeah, cloud tech has been really hot lately, pretty much since March. Ugh. All right, guys, I think I need to wrap up here, especially with my super sore neck. Good to take some extra time off. You know, it was an okay trading day today. You know, we started off really hot, but then we gave back half of our profits, which is always kind of an annoying way to end the day. Even if you're in the green, just because it's like, ugh, you know, I just did one trade less, I would have made more money, but oh well, it is what it is. That's also a bit of the case with using bigger size. You know, I'm trying to get bigger size, and then sometimes I have, you know, a few good trades with smaller size, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bigger size, and that's actually the one trade that doesn't go as hot. So that's also a bit of like something I gotta keep practicing so I can get to those $5,000, $10,000 position sizes. So yeah, 166 bucks today, but we made some really nice swing trades. We did good on our Webull account as well. So I'm probably up like 400 bucks today, give or take. But our day trading account is really the one that's you know, front and center right here. Definitely a lot more trades today than yesterday, so it was really, really good fun. Not too many trades after the market opened. I was a bit more hot with pre-market trading today, but yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, thanks Matt and Pharma. Thanks, I appreciate that. Don't forget to drop a like, guys, on the way out. It really, really means a lot. Consider subscribing if you guys are totally new. I'd love to see you guys again in the chat room and on the channel in general, in the comments below the videos. Let's wrap it up here, guys. Like always, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Don't do anything silly. Take the profits when you have them. See you guys. Ciao, ciao.